Hello and welcome to week 3 of the 30-day decluttering challenge. And I hope this has been helpful for you. It's been really fun for me to create, and I hope it's been helpful. And I know it's been helpful for some of you because I've heard from many of you of the successes you've had, how good it feels to be getting some of this stuff done. Even if you're not doing it every day, doing even some of the things has been really beneficial. So I have loved that. And if you haven't, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear about your challenges or your successes. I want to hear it all. I love mail. So I'd love to hear from you. We're going to go ahead and dive straight into this week's challenges, this week's tasks. And we're going to focus on two biggies this week: paper clutter and kids' clothes. So let's go ahead and dive in. On day 15, which is the first day of this week, you are going to simply gather all the paper clutter from your home, gather it, throw away the obvious trash items. The rest of it, you're just going to put in a stack to deal with later. Day 16, the next day, you are going to go through those paper items. You're going to divide them into 3 piles: bills to pay, and the stuff you need to just deal with right away. So bills to pay, stuff to deal with right away. The second pile is going to be things that need to be filed or kept on record. And then the third thing is going to be kids things like kids art, kids work, things that you want to save that are your kids. And you know, that stuff, it stacks up, right? And then whatever you're going to throw away, that just needs to be thrown away. And then here's what you're going to do with those 3 things. So the bills are things to deal with right away. Either pay those bills, do whatever, fill out the permission slip that you need to send back to your school, deal with those things right away, or put an alert in your phone for when you're going to deal with them. Make a plan to deal with all those things. Okay, so that's pile number 1. Pile number 2, the things to file them. Or if you don't have a filing system and you need to create one, set those aside somewhere until you can get to creating that file system. But again, I would set a goal and a date by when you're going to do that. The third thing, kids' items you want to keep. Now, first off, you can do this however you want, but here's my suggestion. First off, I would be very selective about what you keep. If it's your kids' artwork, it should be their best artwork, the artwork that really just makes your heart sing. It should be their best schoolwork, whatever it is, make it sure it's their best, not just saving everything, right? And then what they do, I recommend putting the month and the year on that item so you know it's dated. And as far as saving, what I do personally is I have folders that I have in a file cabinet with each of my children's names on them, and that's where I collect all their items. And again, I'm really selective. That's why it's in a folder and not in a box. So that's what I do, and that's what I'd recommend you do, or figure out what's going to work for you. If you need a box to put those things in, get that box. Or if you're going to be more selective and not have a lot of clutter, which I think you should do, is maybe do an actual file folder with your child's name on it. Okay, so you're going to do that on day 16. Day 17 is going to be an easy one. Pick a drawer or a cupboard in your house that's driving you crazy and clean it out. Remove everything, wipe it down, get rid of the items you don't need or the superfluous items, either throw away or donate, and then put the rest back in an organized fashion. Day 18 through 21, so through the rest of the week, you're going to focus on kids' clothing, and you're going to go through those. And you can go through those in any way that works for you, but here's what I recommend. I recommend, first off, breaking down the task, especially if it feels overwhelming. If you have a lot of kids like me, it can feel kind of daunting. So, and here's how I would break it down. First, start with one kid. So start one kid at a time, gather their clothes, and gather them, and then divide them out, stack them. My bed is where I do this. Stack them by style and size. For example, 5T leggings or 5T pants would all be together. 5T short sleeve shirts, 5T long sleeve shirts, etc., right? 5T dresses. I've got all girls, so that's where our divisions go. Once you have all those things stacked out by size and style, you can then go through and figure out, well, what do I need? Like, let's say you have 15 pants and maybe they're all good pairs of pants, but your kid doesn't need 15 pants. You don't need to have those. So you can figure out what you're going to donate or get rid of, what you're going to keep, and what you're going to, maybe that needs to be trashed. Maybe there's some things that are stained and gross and you can either throw those away, or better yet, I'd recommend turning them into rags, somehow recycling them. Okay, so that is my recommendation of dealing with kids' clothes. You're going to be working on those from day 18 through the rest of the week. So maybe you could, if you have a couple kids, focus on one child for each day, going through their clothes. But again, make sure you're getting rid of the things that are superfluous. So once you figured it all out, I'd recommend also getting things out of storage so you really have a big picture of everything you have for that size and style, whether it's winter or summer, so you can really see how much you need to keep or how much you can get rid of. Okay, and that is it for this week. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will be back in your inbox next week.